Hey guys, I got a thing in the mail. We're gonna strap a bomb to a plane. All right, this little bomb-shaped thing was sent over to me by Levil Aviation. Actually, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I don't know if it's Levil or Levil Aviation, but you know what? It doesn't matter. They sent it over to me to give you guys a review of it, and actually they asked me to give you an honest review of it, so that's what we're gonna do. But let's go ahead and get it opened up. All right, you guys know I've already done this, but I'm just gonna do it again for you. It's actually a nice unboxing experience, but first thing, we have a little letter stating that they're allowed to manufacture these from the FAA. Quick start guide, but here we go. Here is the bomb. It's all wrapped up and it's remove before flight red. What else is in the box? Oh, remove before flight, some extra mounting pieces. Ooh, little antenna that goes on the bottom, and some mounting plates. So this guy's called the BOM, and it's in the shape of a bomb, but it's not a bomb per se. BOM actually stands for Broadcasting Outer Module, and I don't know if the name came before the acronym or if it was the other way around, but regardless, I like the name of it. The idea is that you mount this somewhere to the exterior of your airplane and it sends out all kinds of information wirelessly. Levil has packed a lot of tech into this little guy, like ADS-B, WASH GPS, and high-performance AHRS information that streams to your tablet of choice, providing you with everything you need if you have an instrument malfunction or other related emergency. Even though it's marketed as a backup solution here, with the things that this is capable of, I can see it being more useful than that. So let's get up close and personal with this guy. The overall build quality seems rather nice. Its outer casing is split into 3 major parts that fit together nicely to help reduce overall drag. On the nose, there's several little holes for its different measuring systems, and at the back, spinny fin things to power and charge itself in flight. On the bottom is an antenna, and on the top it provides an easy mounting system for installation and removal. Over here we have a little removable plate that gives us access to the charging port and SD card slot for data recording. Alright, it also comes with this nice little cover to protect it, and when you put it on here, there's a magnet that's inside of it that'll turn the unit off. So you put it like that, and it's going to save the battery for your next flight. Now, they didn't tell us that we couldn't do this, so we're just going to do it anyways. But let's take a look inside. Let's take this guy apart. Wow. Now, I can't see a ton that's going on inside of here, but there's still a lot of stuff going on. That's kind of cool. They don't want to break it, so we're just gonna... But enough about the hardware, let's take a look at the software. It works on both iPad and Android and presents its information in a fun way. Like if you enjoy steam gauges, you can add a bunch of windows like this and add the gauges you want. My favorite has to be the EFIS. I trained with the Garmin G5 and Levil's display here, actually, I prefer it better for some reason. I think it has to do with where the compass is. But overall, the app is good and intuitive to set up. Even in the settings menu where you set instrument sources, measurement units, and V-speeds to make sure that your display is accurate. The only clunky side I found with the software was the device configuration for the BOM, but once you figure it out, it works well enough. You see, Levil has other products this app works with, so options for those devices are in here too, plus some other things that I'm pretty sure I shouldn't be messing around with. But over on this tab here are the options for the BOM, and what they are calling caging is the first thing that we see, which is actually configuring it to work with your airplane. I think configuration might be a little bit more intuitive, but caging is what they went with. And down here we can make adjustments to pressure altitude and the pitot speed if needed. And we can also set up an angle of attack indicator here, which we'll talk about in a bit, maybe. Now that's enough of a tour of this guy and its software, so let's head over to the airport to test it out. Hey guys, I'm out here at the airport a second time because my memory card got corrupted, but I wanted to show you how I mounted the BOM to the airplane before I went on the flight. Now, you see, I'm inside of a club and I needed an option to be able to mount and unmount the BOM as I needed. I didn't want to leave it here all the time. So Levil has gone ahead and partnered with N-Flight Cam, and they made this adapter to make it so you can mount the BOM to a wing strut. Levil does provide those metal plates that I showed you before to create a more permanent option if you wanted to leave it on the plane all the time. But this works great for me, and now we're going to jump back to that flight that we went on, and oddly enough, the weather is the same today as it was then. Just a quick PSA here for safe flying. I brought my buddy John along with me to kind of act like a safety pilot. I know I'm going to be fiddling with my iPad and this BOM, and I wanted someone I could hand the plane off to. Guys, seriously, here at Fly With the Guys, we try to fly as safely as possible, and we encourage all of you to do the same. So please take someone with you the first time you're flying with your BOM or any new device. Anyways, moving on. So I'm just gonna say this thing is really cool. I know I have the same information right in front of me, but seeing it in real time on my iPad and know it's coming from its own independent source was just next level for me. Now, I talked a little before about the setup of their EFIS, but I also have on the screen traffic right here, which is a huge deal to me. I fly out of busy airspace, and being able to see where everything is around me and how close it is just awesome to me. And I know that you're seeing it here. I'm running Foreflight on one side of my iPad by using iOS's split screen feature. This seriously makes it look and feel like I'm using some kind of $10,000 fancy piece of avionics, and I would still have navigation in an emergency situation. Now, after flying out over to the lake, I handed John the controls so I could really dig into some of the settings here. I got the unit caged or calibrated for our flight and adjusted the airspeed and altimeter so that they matched the planes, and then added my V speeds, which I really should have done on the ground, but that's why I brought John along. So one good thing about it being a cloudy day was that there was actually some weather. We don't get a lot of that here in Arizona, but we could see the rain off in the distance, and sure enough, the BOM sent that information over to our iPad and we saw it pop up in Foreflight. But this reminded me of another feature that I had shared with John a little bit earlier. That little impeller on the back produces so much electricity to charge and make the BOM operate that the excess electricity has to be sent off somewhere. So it sent off its heat to the nose of the BOM, which prevents icing. This was good for today because the temperatures were actually just below freezing, and there was more moisture inside of the air than we anticipated when it took off. Now, just for fun, we went ahead and did a few maneuvers to see how the BOM responded, and it did really well. I was impressed by how responsive it was, and could see how it could easily be used inside of a backup scenario. But like I said before, I want to give this a little bit more credit than that. I can totally see this as a training tool for instructors. I mean, think about it. You're sitting on the right side of the plane, and it would be great to have an extra EFIS right in front of you. Plus, much like I did on this flight, you can record the screen when the student starts maneuvers and then show them how things went inside the end during your debrief. Now, I can also see this used as a ADS-B in and weather information alternative, even though it costs more than other products that do the same thing. The idea of having a backup and an independent charging system makes it so you don't have to worry about making sure things are charged or bringing along extra batteries for those longer flights. Now, the last cool feature that this guy has that I didn't mess around with on our flight was the angle of attack meter. I've never really flown with an AOA before, so I'm not the best person to talk about it, but it's just another cool feature this guy has to offer. So what are my final thoughts on this? Well, I like it. It really does provide a level of peace of mind as a backup, and it's an easy way for me to take features to planes that aren't as well equipped as the one that I currently fly. Now, there are some software things that I'd like to see added, like a couple more round dials so we can have a true full 6-pack right there. But I can tell you that Levil, I think that's what it is ready and willing to work on stuff like this. Like, I made a suggestion when I first got the unit, and before I even went on my flight, they had it implemented, and it was actually really useful on my flight. Now, there are two things that I'd really like to see added to the BOM that I think would make it a better device. The first being an exterior power button, and the second being a power indication light. Because it uses vibrations to turn on, you have to tap it on your hand if you want to test it. But then you don't know if you tapped it enough to turn it on because it has nothing to tell you that it's working. You could remove the little plate that's right here to take a look inside, but an exterior power button and a power indicator would make a world of difference. That way, if you forget to turn it on before mounting it to your plane, or you have it permanently mounted, you can check its function before you start your engine. Now, if you're interested in getting a BOM and strapping it to your plane, you can head over to Levil's website for more details on it, but I'll leave a link for it down in the description. And if you're ready to buy one, make sure you use the code FLYWITHTHEGUYS, all lowercase, and you can get 5% off your purchase. I know it's not a lot, but it lets them know that I sent you there. Alright guys, I really do like the BOM. They didn't pay me to make this video, they sent it to me. So I hope that you like my review, and if you did, please give this a thumbs up. Also head on over to our channel page and subscribe while you're there, because we're going to be doing more reviews, and also we have a lot of other great content for you guys to check out. So make sure to ring the bell while you're there, so when new videos and stuff drop, you get notified immediately. Anyways, share aviation wherever you can, and we'll see you in the next one.